All right, so now we've looked at how we navigate through the lighting. Now we'll go to the socket tab. So it's the same process. Room name, say I don't know whatever it is room you want it to be. R001. Some whatever it is you want it to be. Okay. Now, so remember in the settings we set the room. If you go to the settings, we set this socket to be P. So if you leave it, it will automatically give you P. You understand? It starts from one anyway. So I'm gonna do P. Let's just make this P1 dash A since we're on the ADB. I can call this R001. Okay. So say the length of the room is say 6 meters by 5 meters. It is suggesting that you use 7 socket points. Okay, say 6 meters by 5 meters, suggest 7 socket points. Now, if you want to use more than 7 socket points in that room, or you want to use less than 7 second points, you just put whatever it is you want to use here. If you want to use this is the minimum required. You understand? But of course, you can be flexible. Okay, so you either use your 7 or you change it here. All right, so that's it. So if I want to change it, say to 6 here. Okay, let me this first one. Let's say I use a 7. So remember we set the it to be 30 watts. So that's why 7 is giving 2100. And we have said maximum of 10 per circuit. So if I ask this, so you can see P1A 7 point at 300 watts, 2100 watts. That's what we set in the setting. So let's say the next room, say R002. Now let's call this P1B. Okay. I mean sorry, P2A rather we're on the a dB. Okay, so it still will be the second circuit. Say this one to say we have a room of say 4 meters, or let's even say I'm going to do say let's have a room of 8 meters by 9 meters. It's 10. I want a room that will give me more than okay 8 meters per 9 meters. P1 P2A I can add that to it. If I want to override it, okay, let's I want to override this. Say it's giving me 10. I say I want to use just 6 and that's it. But what is required in that space is actually 10. But let's say for some reason I say I'm just using 6, so it has overridden it to 6 here. I've add it. So you can see that it's 6 points. Why? Because you overrode it to 6. But what is suggested was 10, but you overrode it to 6. So let's add one more. Say R003. Okay, so this room, let's say this is so we have 6 here, we have 7 here. Say we have another say 6 meters by maybe 4 meters. Okay, and it's suggesting 6. Maybe peradventure will now still put it on how many it's saying 6 points here. Peradventure will now put it on say P2A also. You know, it means we're gonna have 12 on P2A. So let's see how it's gonna deal with that. So say P2A for any reason. Remember in the so P2A. So you have P2A. So P2A is gonna be about 3,600 watts, but we have set a maximum of 3,000 watts in the distribution board. Remember that. So let's say then the next one we now say P3A. Okay, let's call this R004. I want you to see how it can intelligently adjust all the circuits in the distribution board. Okay, so let's call this one P3A. If you don't put it there, it's gonna label it automatically. Okay, let's see what it will label if we don't put anything there, so you can see what I'm saying. Add sockets. Can you see automatically call this P4A? Do you understand? But even when you now get to the load schedule, it would have rearranged this thing such that there will be only a maximum of 3,000 watts on one circuit. So this P2A, you understand, to so rearrange it such that it will fill up a circuit to 3,000 to 10 points, and now the spill it over to the next circuit intelligently. Okay, so that's what it's going to do. So I just wanted you to see that. So you can see that when I didn't fill it up, it put it there by itself. So it knows what to do. All right. And you can see it put P4A there. because it knows it's going to do a spillover already. All right, so that's very, very easy. Now for the AC units, say now you want to use your AC, maybe say you're using one hung unit here. Okay, so peradventure R001. We also set the AC unit to 2000 watts. So say R001. So now this one, how do you do this one? So let's say, so we had the AC, the socket, we had P1 to about P4. Even if you make a mistake, it will still readjust it here for you. Say maybe you had a P4 in the socket and you started from P4 here. It will readjust it to P5 here when it gets to the load schedule. These are the things it does for you. You don't have to rack your brain about load schedule anymore. So let's say I'm going to start with P5 here. Okay, P5 here. Or even, let's say I made a mistake and I'm starting with P4 here. So you can see what I mean. So this room, say so you can decide, okay, you want to use a 1.5 horsepower, a 1 horsepower. Let's say I want to use a 1 horsepower here. Okay. And using this for the cooling load. Okay. So I want to add this. So it's suggesting just one unit for this room, 5 meter by 4 meter. Before I'm adding it to it. Okay. So let's say I want to do for 4 rooms also. Let's say R002. Update AC. So you can see that's P5A. So I can put something else here, R003. Okay. So these are the room length, the room width. Also, say P6A. Okay. Add room, add AC room. Okay. And say, let's just put 3 there. All right. So next one, we'll go to dedicated also. So, okay. So let me say this is a package AC. This is a water heater, and this is for what? Cooker units. So you can see cooker unit 3000 watts. Okay. It's very, very easy. For now, I'm using just a water heater. It's 2000. So I can just call this one H1A. Okay. So maybe bath or whatever, because even R003, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So just add this one to his 2000 watt. That's what I set in the settings. Also, the second, maybe I have 2 water heaters. So let me I call this one H2A. All right. So maybe R003. Okay. Add this one too. Then I have probably I have just one cooker unit. So I'm going to just change this one to cooker control unit, and you can see this one changed to 3000 watts and 3000. That's what we set there. Okay. Let me say this is R005 for. Okay. So cooker units. Let me call this one. So I have H1A, H2A. Let me call the cooker H. So whatever it is your circuit, that's why it is flexible. It's not rigid. Okay. Whatever it is you name your circuits, just put what you want there. Okay. So I just add this. So it's what you have full control over all these things. In the next, we're going to then look at load schedule. I hope you can see how interesting and how fast this makes your work. Okay.